We've asked this question many times here with the Warning Team, and that is, why don't high schools require you to take a class about money? It would just seem to be so obvious and so helpful. And Holly Signorelli is joining us. Holly is the author of Do You Know Where Your Money Is? They like to call her the money therapist. Help me, Holly. Seriously, I saw this story in Market Watch. It's been a couple of weeks now. About how few schools, there's only like 5 states that even have a curriculum for it. It looks like a regular curriculum. Now, there are some schools that do it on their own, I guess, but other than that, kids don't know anything about money.
Yeah, it's kind of sad that it's not in the curriculum. It's like now they have environmental curriculums even in elementary school, and it kind of falls back on the parents. And, you know, everything can't always be the parents' fault, but when it comes to money, psychologically, that's where most people get their perceptions about money and balancing your checkbook and really basic things that these kids that are young adults now don't know how to do. So you got to kind of look back at what's going on in the household, because when kids hear their parents talking about money or stressing about money, they're going to take on those beliefs.
Yeah, I remember there was a business course that we had when I was a student way back when, and even then they would go a little bit through, you know, let's start with a checkbook first because you got to understand how to write checks, just things like that. And I don't know what goes on in high school today, and I don't want to sit here and hoot on teachers because I think they have so much curriculum that's all geared toward testing that they may not get a chance to do what I call real math, which is, you know, holding down a checkbook.
Yeah, exactly. And if you think about it, then I don't know how old you are, but, you know, I'm in my 40s. So when I was in college, there was so many classes. I think the equivalent then was computers, like understanding computers, because they were taking over at that time. So it wasn't required, but of course you took a class. So whether it's required or not, everyone should be taking a class in high school as an elective and definitely in college just to understand finances. It doesn't matter what you do for a living.
Is there any reason that you can figure out, or do we know why there's not this kind of class offering around? There's only 5 states that actually were given an A by the National Report Card on state efforts to improve financial literacy in high schools. Only 5 schools, and Kentucky wasn't one of them.
No, it wasn't. I'm sorry to say that you guys got a C. You got graded as a C. Oh, my God, it's terrible, isn't it? I don't know why they don't require it. I just know that from the time kids are young, like in elementary school, teaching them, even if they have a small allowance, to take part of that allowance and put it in a piggy bank and create the savings program is something that you can do with kids when they're young. And then as they get older and want to buy more, you know, fun things, then they can learn how to, you know, there's no reason why a high schooler can't balance a checkbook, you know, and put a little bit of money aside. I don't care if it's $5. It's just learning that as you grow up, that's how it's supposed to be.
I know a lot of parents, including my own, that they really didn't teach me a whole lot about that part of the equation. So what can we give? Let's give some answers for some parents today in the remaining 2.5 minutes we have. What can you do to start your kid on that? You brought up the piggy bank. We can start there with that, I suppose, and let's take it on from there if we can.
Yeah, the simple way, what I did with my son is he had like a piggy bank that had like 3 components to it, so that whenever he, you know, traded in a game or something and got some money, he could put some that was supposed to be long-term for, you know, something big and something short-term and something just for the fun stuff, you know, just trying to get them to understand that it doesn't all go into one place, that it's supposed to be separated. And also, too, I think it's basically just talking to your kids about money, because I know when I grew up, there wasn't any stress about money in our house, and we had a big family with one income, but there was always savings, and there was always trips, and we always had everything that we needed. So I think a big deal about money is that people stress out about it, and when you stress about something, then you bury your head in the sand. You don't want to deal with it, and it doesn't have to be stressful. It actually can be very simple, and if we can teach our kids that, no matter what age they are, it's not too late to help them understand that they don't need to be afraid of money, that they can make money and they can save money and they can spend money too. I think people overspend because they have a fear that they don't have enough money, so they go in the complete opposite direction, like oh, my gosh, I better spend this money now because there's no more coming.
Well,
and that does come from the overall perception of money in our society, especially right now.
Well, there are a couple of things I would mention, too. Credit cards right outside that time is registrar's office. I don't know if it's the same way now, but still, limit $300 credit card. Well, you had $300 in peaches. Next thing you know, they expand that to $800. And, there's a lot of kids that forget student loans. They have a lot of credit card debt when they get out of college, for example.
Yes, that is happening. The credit card companies are, even after all this economic crisis, giving away credit cards again, which blows my mind, to people that are 21 and 22 years old. I never thought that would happen again. I can't believe it. Like, nobody at that age really has the money to pay it back other than the minimum. So you're like setting somebody up from the very beginning. I mean, to me, it should be illegal.
Do you have, there's some talk there, too, that we could get into. Do you have a website people can go to?
Absolutely, themoneytherapist.com.
There you go.
All kinds of information.
You got it. Thanks, Holly. Appreciate your time. Holly Signorelli, themoneytherapist.com is the webpage here with News Radio 840 WHAS. Coming up next, your video of the day. It's on the way after traffic and weather right now.